What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Showtime is Blazer King with King's Critiques, and we're back for ReZero. And the last episode was quite interesting. It went about as Julius and Anna and Subaru all had a little conversation about who Anna actually is. And we thought we were going to get some lessons and everyone was going to learn about that situation. However, there is a little bit of a problem. Subaru has been reduced back to day one mindset somehow. Now, how this happened? Hopefully we know. But the question isn't just who is Rem, the question is who is everybody to Subaru? Because something happened when he went up those staircases. Staircases? It's just a singular word, my guy. Went up that staircase the previous night, which I assumed was to go to the library and maybe read up on Reed. But apparently, something else happened. What happened? Will we find out? Well, let's check in on that. But, of course, reminder, please don't forget to let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. On the red side, you gotta wait till the end because the black side don't have an edit button. Yes, I will keep bringing this up until maybe it knocks on TikTok's head to add an edit button. I'm a small guy, though, so probably never gonna happen. And, of course, hit the like button, subscribe, and let the whole video run through the watch time. Because even if it's a patchwork, it's still the video as it is. And yes, this was a rant I brought up at the end of the last episode that someone commented on my video the other day about my videos being patchwork, and not my not my fault, fam. That's the fault of the copyright people, mostly on YouTube. But hey, I'm not gonna make two separate or five separate videos so I can get some up on YouTube and some up on TikTok. That's not how this works. But if you want the full video, again, Patreon. That said, let's get started. Oh no, he's going fully back to episode 1 mindset, even with that dumbass pose. And Amelia's just like, oh god, didn't we deal with this last year? Even Betty's like, Subaru, what's happening? He has reverted back to his past self, I suppose. Meanwhile, he goes through all this and they're just kind of like, we know who you are. We've known you for a long time. Did you hit your head again? Oh, Shaw is right. He hit his head on the chamber pot again. Okay, good. They're taking it the rational way when it comes to memory loss, and they're being like, yeah, no, you've been with us for a long time. Oh, that's actually even more awkward. It's him bringing up things about his past life, current life. Confusing. And yeah, being like, oh yeah, no, even on my worst nights alone, my hand does not end up like this. And now he just feels bad that he doesn't remember anything, which seems about right for Subaru, honestly. Like, he doesn't remember his spiritual daughter and his bride-to-be. Terrible, really. I mean, yeah, but that's plot convenience sake. Like, you also gotta talk about the in-world time of it taking, days and weeks and months, and sometimes the memory never returns. Like, 51st Dates? Yeah, that movie. Which, honestly, hearing someone review that movie kind of makes me look at it in a different light, but honestly, it was the 90s and early 2000s, and, Adam Sandler needed to figure something out that he hadn't done yet. So, while 51st Dates might, be, in theory, a very weird movie, you also gotta think it also has a sweeter undertone to it, because, somebody who, didn't actually have feelings for the person who had memory problems like that wouldn't have gone through so much dedication to stay with them. Yeah, am I wrong in thinking that maybe that was a sweeter thing to look at instead of a, messed up way of looking at it? Because it's one thing if you meet somebody who has memory issues and you I don't know, intentionally do more dark and devious things to them every time you meet them because you know they won't remember. I feel like that'd be worse. Like not going out and dates over and over again, falling in love, and she might forget, but you didn't, so you remind her every single day of who you are. Like, I feel like that's sweeter than what it could have been. Like, there's probably been plots of other sorts of content where it's gone the darker route. Honestly, heck, that was back during the time of porn parodies where Something like that might have existed, honestly, but whatever. See, now what happened? Here's another thing. What happens if it's similar to like what happened with Julius's spirits when his name was taken? Like, if Subaru doesn't remember who he is, will he have the same level of mana that he should be able to give Betty? Or is something going to be in trouble with their contract? Yeah, and he was questioning it, and that just kind of depressed her a little bit, that he didn't even remember they have a contract together. But again, if there's memory loss happening, how would he remember that they have a contract together? Like, even if his body, his spirit, his mana remembers this stuff, how is he supposed to? Yeah, we got that, bro. We got your name. We got that you don't know what's happening, and we need to like knock some sense into you. Matter of fact, let's get Julius down here. He probably needs to vent some frustrations. You know, to be fair, Point Zero Subaru probably would be into being belittled by Ram. I'm just saying. Like, even if he still knows instinctually he's in love with Amelia, he probably would still be into being belittled by Ram at Point Zero. I'm just saying. And this is probably even more confusing to him with his memories gone too. Is Shala just getting all up on him? Because again, Point Zero Subaru was totally the kind of pervert that Ram thinks he is. Like, nobody's gonna deny that. So, I'm sorry, having all that up on you? Listen, like, originally he might be completely in love with Amelia, but right now, who knows where his brain is? Yeah, don't fuck with him when his mind is already in shambles. Like, that's not cool. I mean, granted, Maylee's kind of a bitch anyway, but. Wow. Now she's misusing him for his memory loss. Like, what we just talked about with that 51st dates thing? Yeah, not Maylee. Maylee's doing that kind of thing. It's like, oh, well, too bad you lost your memory. You totally probably don't remember how so, right? I totally want you to make me a new stuffed animal. It's like, bitch, you're challenging me? Meanwhile, he tried to assume the roles between everyone. Oh, in a theoretical sense, he's not wrong. You know, Betty's kind of like the little sister to everybody. But also, yeah, Maylee kind of, yeah. Granted, her stepmother was on par with Shala there, so. But he wouldn't have only remember that one either. Julius just seems kind of sick because of what just happened, considering their conversation last night, and now he can't even have that conversation because of what has happened. Wonder if he like partially feels bad for the way they separated last night, and that probably being the last thing in his memory about Julius. Yeah, no, considering Subaru was the one that was like pushing Julius to be more of himself than anything else previously. You know, that giving the man lots of confidence and he can do the things he sets out to do. You know, he's a better knight than he thinks he is, blah, 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 blah. And now Subaru has reset to his original mindset. The mindset that, sure, Julius kind of felt respect for in the very beginning, but not the man that he stood and fought with at least 2 or 3 times over. I think the difference in what he just called her kind of brought Amelia down a little bit, because he used the normal Chan instead of the Tan he had been using. That might have just made her a little upset. Pause. Unless maybe I'm overthinking it with them, or underthinking it anyway. What if it's not actually Subaru? What if he did go up to the go up to the library to investigate some things, but something like invaded his body? You know, similar to how that echidna is within it. Well, similar to how that echidna is within Anna, something took over Subaru's body, you know, replaced him, changed form, kind of like how Envy does, or Lusted. It could be a couple of different things. Do I believe it's, you know, memory loss similar to how a couple of them are dealing with? Maybe. Or maybe it's that possession thing. Maybe Ram will be questioning him on exactly that. You know, are you the Natsuki Subaru we know? Or are you something else entirely, waiting for everyone's defenses to be down. Okay, Ram might actually see a little bit more into this than the rest of them, which, considering she has a certain ability of her own, might help. You know, Subaru noticed about Anna, but who's going to notice about him if he's different, has something within him? Okay, rude. What if he is actually, having memory loss issues? Then you're just abusing a handicapped person. And that's illegal. I mean, granted, maybe not in their continent, but. So, is this Ram's way of showing she's concerned for whatever has happened? Because she might not believe it, but what if it is true and he's not bullshitting everyone? Because she's dropped to the point of begging while being forceful, which we're not going to get into how, that sounds, but, yeah, that's another reason for her to be so upset, is he was the only one other than her that had some recollection of who Rem was, and, what her being could have been. But if he forgot everything, then he forgot Rem. Which brings up a third thought process of that library incident. What if the one he went to read up about was Rem, and what happened with Gluttony kind of affected him too because of that? But again, we don't know where anyone's names were specifically in the library, so would he have, felt that kind of conviction to go up there and look into all that? Oh, so we're just gonna come out right with the Fox said nothing anyway, even if Subaru's having issues? Alright. Yep, she's just coming out right with it to tell everybody else, because Subaru knew beforehand, so... I mean, this could technically be one of those things to help kick his memory back into place, maybe, if he's reminded about who Fox Edna is. Unlikely, but maybe. Yeah, no, not Amelia, not your echidna. It's a different echidna. You know how, you know, Subaru, you know how those animals, echidnas, have multiple genitalia in your realm? It's kind of like that. There are weirdly four of us out there. I don't know the other two, but me and the one that Amelia knows, yeah, no, we go way back. Tormented isn't quite the word. Is she a little gremlin like? Yeah, sure. But I don't think she tormented you guys. Like, she might have messed with you, sure, but she mostly has helped thus far. She has told him things about RBD that he didn't know, that technically he doesn't know about now. And it's unfortunate that they don't know about that either, because maybe they could kill him and see if he got his memory back. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Yeah, ironically, we came to this tower to help people with memory issues, and you developing memory issues while we were here, little bit confusing, little bit of an issue, but honestly, maybe it'll help the grand plan of things. And he's going into the whole thing of losing his memories, and I'm just here like, we're almost halfway through the episode. How did he lose his memories? Like, hopefully that's not a thing they drag on for several episodes until the, point where they took the break and just got back to episodes the other day, or in a day or two. Because I kind of would like to know what the hell is happening with this man. Yeah, Julius is asking as if he knows how he lost his memories. Bitch, if he didn't remember being in this world, how would he remember what he had for breakfast yesterday? Let alone what he did the previous night that got him where he is. Now, we know as the viewers that he went up a staircase and was about to do something, but even us, the viewer, is literally just as confused as everybody else, because hey, he's going up the stairs now. And now he wakes back up with his memories gone at the start of the next episode. It's like, what happened in that interval? I'm pretty sure, like I said, he went up the staircase to the library, but what happened up there? Okay, correct, he was in the library, so that means he was reading a book that had something happen. But, see, this actually brings up the conversation of, what book did he read? Did he go up to read about this is one of the pain in the ass things about how the English language works, of so many things being spelled similar but also different, and sounding similar but also different. Because did he go up to read Reed's book and find out his weakness? Did he go to read a book from like Rem or maybe Gluttony's original, identity? Or did he find and read one of his own books? Maybe the very first one that was made when he came and the first time he died and he got reset to his original mindset. Because again, I did perpetuate something about a entire shelf full of Natsuki Subaru books. So, I mean, did that actually happen? Did he find one of his old books and it just kind of knocked his memory back to point zero? Okay, but here's the problem with that, Amelia. If only the people that have connection to that person can read the book, what makes you think he'll be able to find the right book? Why is Betty looking at him so deviously, by the way? Like, I don't think I've ever seen a child look quite that devious. And again, conversationally, I had this the other episode, I know she's in her thousands, but she's basically, a child. And why does she have that look? Man really just thought he was in that kind of a isekai where this is not solo leveling. You can't just open up a menu and shit will happen. Good thought process that it was that kind of a isekai, but unfortunately, no. I mean, you do have magic, you just don't remember. Now, what if him randomly saying shit will have something happen? Actually, that could probably be for the best. Guess we'll find out. Oh, so even she told him, yeah, no, you kind of broke your magic, so you can't use it on command that easily. Which is not wrong, because other than when he got super pissed when they all got, like, basically possessed, he really can't use his magic that well and usually has to have Betty, like, right next to him to be able to. Like what happened when they were, like, crossing the dunes. No, true. Honestly, I'm surprised he didn't once the whole memory loss thing started happening because of Gluttony. Like, the very first time when Rim got her memories taken, he should have started keeping a journal in case he got wrapped up into this kind of shit. Or maybe he did. So he either tripped or got pushed. Now, this is about to have a two-way thought process. Either he's gonna fall back down to the archive and, die on impact and get reset, which might be helpful, might not. Maybe he'll die, get reset to what happened before he lost his memories, and be like, okay, so I just gotta not do whatever the fuck happened before. And he went splat. Oh shit, he got reset to when he lost his memories. Is he going to remember going splat at least, so he knows that he's in a current state of amnesia? Yeah, he got reset back to right when he lost his memories. So what happened? Because I'm assuming he got pushed, not he tripped. Because he's a dumbass, but I don't think he's that much of a dumbass. And now I think everything's coming to him like, wait, I got pushed downstairs. Wait, I woke up like this before. What happened? So now, another thought process. Is he going to say that he, had just died, or is he going to believe it was a bad dream? Because he had just went through this before, so is he going to, convey that to them? Is he going to start to bring up the fact he had just died, and maybe the RBD is going to grasp at his heart as it does when he tries to tell people, and that's going to send him into a whole other world of things? Who pushed him? Many things to consider with what's happening right now. And this is one of those things where, dear God, I'm probably going to spend most of my day just trying to catch up to the show instead of editing things down to go to YouTube like I should. But let's let them continue on. Meanwhile, they're going to ask, what do you mean again? This is the first time you've passed out in the archive. And then his brain is going to go tick, tick, tick. And it's like, wait, I went through all this before. What the fuck happened? Yeah, and meanwhile, he's talking about what he didn't even bring up that he had already been through this situation. Actually, he's going through the whole, well, you guys told me not to go to the library, but I was standing above it and then I dropped? Meanwhile, he talks about the memory loss and they're like, wait, pause, go back, what? Yeah, now it's starting to hit him. Also, I'm gonna do all these times where I weirdly compliment the artist. Because these are reasons why this show is as good as it is. Because you can actually tell the emotions being conveyed by this man just by the way his eyes wrinkle up like that when he's deep in thought. Like, it's not just from all the horrified moments he's had of near death or actually dying, time in, time out, over and over and over again, but just the moments of deep contemplation where everything just kind of wrinkles in like, oh shit, what the fuck is happening to me? Does he get cut off because the whole... no, but he does want to go into it, and will he be allowed to? Will his memories serve him to allow to? Will the forces within allow him to? Yes, we've already gathered that. Meanwhile, he's going through the exact same thing again. He's just saying there like, okay, what happened? I went through this already. Now, logical Subaru from point zero eventually learned that he should just go through the motions again until he can figure out what changed. And maybe that'll tell him, don't stand above that staircase like that again. Or if he's going to, at least look behind him right before what happens. Okay, but he is catching on quickly about RBD, which is good. Okay, so he hasn't caught on that's RBD yet, but he is kind of catching on to what's happening. So those two got left behind with him. So was it one of them that pushed him down? Because Meili has already tried to kill him a few times in the past. And Shala, I still don't fully trust her. He remembers even less about you than he did about Shala. And, active Subaru didn't know anything about Shala to begin with, so he's going to stare down the staircase again. Sir, what made you think this was a good idea to go back there? At least this time he had the wherewithal to try and look behind him before he got pushed. Yes, but unfortunately you cannot tell them. Because even if you try to, put it out that it was a prophetic dream, what if, the powers that may be don't allow you to do that? What do you mean? All because he lost his memory that it's not safe to have him with you? Crazy. Wow, they're all talking shit about him. Now, is that actually them talking shit about him? Or is it whatever had pushed him down the thing before trying to make him believe that they don't want him around? Honestly, in this universe, anything can be believed. That's the crazy part, because, they're all his good friends, and I don't think they'd talk shit about him in general, but they also are completely aware that without his memories, he's not even half as useful as he is being half useful. Bro, you literally just put yourself in the same exact place as before, and now you're going to be put down in the same exact place as before. Damn, he's having a lot more brutal of a landing than he did last time. Before he just fell straight down and splat. Now his everything is hitting staircases on the way down. That's unfortunate. And third time might be the charm? Damn, he just backhanded Beatrice. Holy shit. Apparently that was quite the nightmare in their perspective. In our perspective, we know better. But, he doesn't even know who pushed him, and he just freaked out upon waking, even backhanding Betty. You're gonna have to apologize for that later. Fam, they're not the ones who pushed you, I think. But here's another thought process. What if he's pushing himself? Not the thoughts I'm having of future him being endgame Subaru. What if Invisible Prominence is coming out and pushing him? What if it's rejecting him because he's had memory loss? Oh, that's gonna be interesting. Is he gonna head up and accidentally release Reed, and Reed's gonna remember who he is, but nobody or well, everybody remembers who he is. But is he gonna have a conversation with Reed? Or is Reed just gonna beat the shit out of him? Apparently he pissed Reed off. Okay, he didn't piss Reed off. I mean, maybe a little bit for coming up so early in the morning, but Subaru just goes stare at the man and be like, what the fuck? Now who are you? Okay, well, that was rude just to stab him. So he's gonna die again at least, but... Oh, I've been impaled. And now he's going to open that wound up even more. Well, good news, this'll be another reset for Subaru. Bad news, he's probably gonna bitch smack Betty again. Damn, he didn't even kill him, he just stabbed him, played with his guts a little, and kicked him down the stairs. Aww. You think this was just a few hours ago. Yo, why does Mom look devious, though? They said Betty looked devious earlier, but this bitch, she looks devious. And before his mom was evil to begin with. To be fair, had you said that, you would have also been a liar. Unless it's one of those cases where because you didn't die before getting a second, the moment in his reality just paused and never continued forward, technically. An unseen force is laughing at him. And that kind of sounds like him laughing at him. So maybe the things I'm theorizing are not fully wrong. Oh, well, okay, Satella showing up might be a good thing. You know, the love and appreciation she feels for him might help kick him back into, a normal sense of mind after this death. And hey, look, we have a neat thumbnail! Yeah, she's gonna help reset him again so he doesn't just die there on the staircase. Which, understandable. Or maybe she's gonna help reset him again just so he doesn't, lose faith in his friends. And, maybe Reed'll not be aware of what just happened either if she resets him. So, here's the thing. Satella, Echidna, whatever point of view it might be, they just want to help him. Or didn't she not kill him and she just, massaged his heart so he'd stay alive? Man, he really has been reverted back to Season 1 Subaru. Terrible. How did this happen? We still don't know. We do know that Satella wants to keep him alive. And actually maybe him going up to be assaulted by Reed wasn't a bad thing. Because here's the thing. As much of a douchebag as Reed is, and, as irritable as he obviously can get, maybe having an actual conversation with him would be helpful to figure out what the fuck's happening here. So instead of staying there and healing, he's just gonna... Okay. So, is he gonna die again and get reset? Is he gonna get reset to the same point as before? Is he gonna get reset to back in the green room while he was healing just then? Oh, you think you only died twice? Oh, isn't that cute? But it's wrong. Oh, now is he about to try and leave the whole tower and he's gonna get sniped by Shala just on instinct? Okay, he did figure out what it's called though, so that's good. Well, leaving the tower is gonna get your wish of getting someone to kill you, because whether it's by a Ma, Beast, or Shala, you're gonna die. Yep, Shala has been activated. Well, that's different. She's just standing there fidgeting, because she knows she has to, auto-snipe whoever's trying to leave or enter the tower. Whew. So by the thumbnail to the next episode, I'm guessing she did her job and he got eliminated before he had a chance to go anywhere. So, there are many things to question right now about what the fuck is happening. Of course it couldn't be a simple, old school anime, you clear this level, then that level, then that level. Nah, you gotta add in a bunch of random shit that's happening, and what happened to him, we still don't know. Obviously, he read some kind of book that kicked him in the dishpan, woo woo woo, and now he's back to zero. So, What actually happened to have that happen? Who knows? Who killed him the first 2 times? We still don't know. I'm going to assume it wasn't Satella. That much is obvious because Satella's the one that kept him alive this time until he tried to leave the tower, and I'm assuming Shala, like the last couple times at the start of the season. So what was it? Did Gluttony somehow get into the tower and is making sure he can't go back to his normal self? Did he try to read Gluttony's book and that's how this ended up how it did? Did Invisible Prominence be the one to kill him those first 2 times? Because I could totally see, in a way similar to how, magic works in certain universes. Kind of like what Betty told him about beginner magic breaking his gate. Maybe because he's not who he is fully, Invisible Prominence is rejecting him, and at the first chance it got, it killed him. Then again, if that's correct, wouldn't it have just, choked him out? There's a lot of things to consider, and hopefully we get to an answer for that before the break point that they had in the season. Which honestly, I might just try to catch up to where we are currently in the season today before I upload anything. So y'all won't see this episode until Saturday, so you won't know if that's what happens. But if there was a super late upload on Friday, you know why. Because I want to get to the bottom of this before I upload any of it. And you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below as far as that goes. Again, please, if you read the manga, don't spoil anything. But you're free to comment down below your thoughts on where the season is thus far and your opinions on it, as well as, of course, about any other shows, movies, etc. you should check out this season, next season, or in general. Please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the other channels, ring bells, like Facebook, follow Twitter, Blue Sky, TikTok, and Patreon, and Twitch. Subscribe to Patreon and Twitch because you get benefits. Patreon specifically. A majority of that comes with not only exclusive content I might decide to upload, because some of the more NSFW anime that might come out, things like when I check out Chain Soldier Season 2 if I do that live, or, please put them on Takamine, I uploaded all of that months ago, and things like that will be coming up there in the future when I deem it desirable. As well, of course, about the fully unedited visual and audio stuff uploaded here. Till next time, though, that all being said, it's been the Blaze Game with King's Kritique. Sound ta for now. Peace.